Welcome back to another wrap-up video. Today we're wrapping up March, and this is a video where we're going to have to go through the books and realize that there have been some switches, there have been some changes, nothing ever really goes to plan, and I failed on a couple different fronts, and that is perfectly okay. So as usual, the books that I read, that I just threw on the floor, is Watership Down, Vampire Hunter D. So here's the switch up. It was supposed to be Redemption Arc, but I got into a conversation in the comment section, and the commenter ruined my whole life by convincing me not to read that book and to switch it out with Chasm City. So that's what I did, because, you know, I'll get there in a second. And the Bone Hunters. Okay, so as usual, everything that I put a dedicated video out on, we will not be talking about here, which was the manga, which both of those got their own video, which I didn't get out for some reason. Watership Down got its own video, and the Bone Hunters will get its own video as well. But real fast, before we do anything else, we need to talk about the massive elephant in the room here, which is the fact that I am a failure. Now, I didn't finish this book. I got to page 607, and I have not made the last 300 pages in it. Also, Vampire Hunter D, I made it to page, 41. That's pathetic. And I did not finish it either. This has been a terrible month for me. Like, I had, both me and my fiance had car troubles. Like, my son had his Washington, D.C. trip. Like, there was so much life happening this month. Like, and it then, on top of the life, there was stress. And then on top of the stress, I mean, it was just a disaster. So I didn't get my books read, and I'm like way behind. I'm already way behind going into April. Actually, as a matter of fact, this is why, if you noticed in my April TBR video, it seemed like my books were a little bit light. And one of them was even like an art book, like, which came in, by the way, which is this Electric State book. I know I'm all over the place. I apologize, but this looks amazing. Like, already, like just oh my goodness, it looks truly stunning. Anyway, so if you noticed that my reading schedule looked a little bit light for next month, that's because my reading schedule for this month failed miserably, and I didn't actually finish all of my books, and I kind of need to play catch up for the first week or so of this month. Anyway, so I should be reviewing Vampire Hunter D. I am not, because I didn't actually finish it. I will. We'll get there. I'll get it done. But sometimes, you know, life gets in the way. And then me, when I get stressed out, everything kind of slows down, and I can't focus as well. And then, like, my reading slows down because I'm not focusing very well. There might be some people out there that literally thrive and excel and, like, do better under stress. I clearly am not one of those people. So essentially what we're doing today is we're going to review Chasm City and call it a day, other than whine about the fact that I'm terrible at life. Okay, so Chasm City, the book that wasn't even on my TBR for last month, is a book by Alistair Reynolds. Chasm City is essentially a standalone book that kind of exists within the Revelation Space universe, kind of alongside of the Revelation Space trilogy. Now, this actually came out in publication order in between books 1 and 2, which is one of the reasons why my commenter was pushing me to read it in between books 1 and 2, because that's how it was published. Then it's kind of like a side story, backstory into like Chasm City and Yosemite and all of that within the Revelation Space universe. And it really helps you understand moving forward into the series, I guess, from what he says. And I was just like, yeah, I don't really care. But then the more I looked into it, the more I read into it, the more I kind of got excited about the book. And I was like, all right, fine, I'll just read it. So here we are. And I read Chasm City. Now, I will say it was amazing. It is now my second favorite. No, I've only read 3 Alistair Reynolds books, but it is now second to House of Suns. House of Suns is still like peak Alistair Reynolds, but this very quickly came in second. Way better than Revelation Space. Not that that's a bad book, but holy crap. Now, Chasm City there is this town called Chasm City. It has been infected by this thing called the Melding Plague. The Melding Plague is taking over all technology, and essentially people have in their bodies now so much nanotechnology, and the buildings themselves are kind of constructed automatically. They are built by basically machines. So when everything got infected with the melding plague, everything went down. People and all of the nanotech inside of people is malfunctioning now. The buildings are being built out of control, kind of strange inorganic shapes are being created by these buildings that are just being built in any direction now by the builders that aren't being properly controlled anymore. And descending into Chasm City is our main character, Tanner, but he's coming into Chasm City on a mission to catch this guy named Rivich, who he's chased here from another planet. And it is now this like chase story, detective story, trying to hunt down this guy that he's after, while our main character Tanner has been infected with a virus that causes him, whenever he falls asleep, to relive the memories of another character named Sky. And so now we have this weird cat and mouse detective story, but through this weird city that's being infected by the melding plague, and it's growing out of control, and the people are either dead or just there's very few people left in this city, or at least very few normal people left that have have been removed of all their nanotechnology or never had it in the first place because they have had their machines removed. And it is wild, let me tell you, just the ins and outs of the cat and mouse chases and the detective story, and then all of the flashes we're flashing from what he's doing in the current timeline to flashbacks of a previous mission that he was on with a group of people chasing this same Rivich character, flashing also to the dream sequences that he has of this other man Sky's life, which tells the story of this kind of colony ship where Sky was a crew member that was awake on this ship as it was transporting basically people in cryosleep to the planet that they were trying to get to, and how all of that plays out. And maybe this Sky guy and all of the cryosleep people that were going to Sky's Edge, a different planet, might have something to do with what Tanner's doing right now, chasing Rivich. And you can tell by jumping between all of these different things that they're all going to basically tie in together and play into each other, and everything has something to do with everything, but you're not 100% sure how, where, when, why it's all going to come together. And let me tell you, the joy of watching The Cat and the Mouse and the joy of seeing all the pieces slowly click into place is just, man, he's wild. Alastair Reynolds can form and shape a space opera and a tense journey, story, narrative. Everything is so just vastly well done, fascinating, entertaining. Everything about it's so much fun to read. Now, I will say there's like this ultimate revelation that you're going to be working towards the end of it. I saw that coming from a mile away. It is not very hard to figure out. About halfway through the book, you'll be like, maybe not even halfway through the book, you'll be like, I think I know where this one aspect of the story's going. And then he keeps teasing it for the next half of the book, like you don't already know where it's going. And it's just like, the jig's up. It's been up for a while, but that's okay. I still think it was a lot of fun. I still loved it. I still enjoyed it. It was, when he gets to the payoff, you're like, no, Sherlock, we saw it, but it's okay. The journey itself and the story itself and the action and just, I don't know, so good. I really am quickly falling in love with Alastair Reynolds, and just the way he can craft and structure and tell a story is very, very well done. And just, he's so good. He really is good. I can't recommend Alastair Reynolds enough. Start with House of Suns. Let's be real. Start with that one. That'll just, if you're not blown away by House of Suns, maybe Alastair Reynolds isn't for you, because that shit's amazing. Anyway, that's about the only book that I got to talk about this month, because like I said, I am a failure. I fail at life at least I'm a failure as a booktuber, right? Is that how that goes? No, I'm just kidding. Because you know what? Before I started these TBR and wrap-up videos, you guys wouldn't have even known that I was a failure. But now it has to be addressed because now I've set myself into this routine. No, it's okay. I'm really not upset about it. It's just life is what it is. I fell behind. It's okay. I'll catch up or I won't. Maybe I'll just have to shift everything back a month. Not a big deal. I'd rather do that than stress myself out about it. That's for sure. Anyway, everybody, as always, the link for my Patreon's in the description below. The link for my Discord's in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.